My name is MasonLavigne Jr. I'm 20 years old. I'm a current student at Middle Georgia, and I'm from New Orleans. Originally, I grew up in the projects. You heard me. I was living in the project with my mom at first. Me and my family wasn't really close like that. My dad and my mom slipped up. I ain't never had a chance to have my mom and my dad in the same house, so it was always me spending time with my dad on the weekends and everything like that. I'm the only child. I was the only child at the time. I went to school. I went to elementary school. I couldn't really read and write. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't the smartest kid. You know, I used to always be in the streets with my cousins. I wanted to be like my cousins because I ain't really had nobody to tell me the right thing to do at the time. Well, at the time, in our projects, we didn't really have a rec. We had a park. And long story short, I was walking to school with my friend Mark, and the coach, my football coach, he stopped me, and he was like, "You should play football." But at the time, the coach knew who I was before I even knew who he was. My dad actually played football for him, and he was like, "You must not know who I am." And I was like, "Nah, I don't know who you are." And he was like, "I know who you are." And he told me my whole name, and he said my dad's name and everything. My dad used to play for him, and he was like, on your way back from school, come back and come play football. So I wasn't really worried about it. So I had to walk through the park to get to my school. So after school, I was like, man, I don't want to go to the park because I know coach gonna be waiting on me. So I ended up walking through the park, and he waited on me. And then after that, he was like, come try out. I went on the field. I really didn't know nothing about football. I always had anger problems. I was always loved to fight. And he was like, I see a mean streak in you. So I was like, all right, cool. Man, I think fashion is, to me, you have to be comfortable wearing whatever you want to wear. I'm the type of person where I really don't care what people say. I put on what I put on, and sometimes I'll wear certain outfits that express my mood or really express how I want to go about doing the day. But I think the best thing about fashion is you're able to be your own person. You know, you're able to feel like you're somebody, and that's what I love about fashion. You know, fashion makes me feel like, you know, I'm just complete, I guess. I got my shoe collection, you heard me? I'm a big sneakerhead.
Pull out the zebra motherfucker.
Zebra motherfucker.
So
Scotch, you heard me? You see
okay.
them things icy.
Okay.
Then I had to, make it plain and get some, Vans,
Okay, you gotta switch it up.
You know what I'm saying? Then I had to get the up-tempo motherfuckers,
I know what I'm talking about, something.
You know? Then I had to, I don't play like Jordan, but goddamn, I had to goddamn get the shoes, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? So
show me the classy. Where the classy ones at, man? I need to see the classy joints.
Jeez.
Need to see the classy ones, man.
Which one you want to see? The Bordeaux? I got these.
Okay, you got
I like the ones. I like ones, man. I like these too.
Alright, so what she hit you up? Hey, young Mace, they go out to eat. Big deal eat. I ain't talking about
like on
tennis shoes. Yeah, I need you finna take a dress up soon tight stuff.
Glad you said that, big homie.
What you working
these
with?
Motherfuckers on right there. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I can get the Prince motherfuckers over here, goddamn.
Show me some.
Prince motherfuckers right here.
Show me
goddamn.
some. Okay.
You feel what I'm saying?
Okay.
If you want to do a presentation or something, you put on some. Motherfucker,
The boy have it. Hey, I ain't gonna count now. Yeah, my boy Rounds over here pulled out a little something special for the get to the Greek. I need to see him. I need to see him where him at, man.
I don't even know where it's at.
Where him at, man? You got to show.
Find the motherfucker.
Okay. Tell me about Katrina.
Man, I remember like yesterday, August 25th. That was probably one of the most tragic days of my life. I seen so much stuff that day. I was nothing but like 8 years old, so I didn't really know what was going on. At the time, I was with my dad's side of the family, and my grandma, she can't see, she was blind. So we didn't have no way to get everybody into a safe place, so we had to actually swim in the water. So I mean, we went outside, all you see is the water just flipping over houses, flipping over cars, people on top of the houses trying to hold on to something, kids just getting washed away by the water. And then, you know, once the water got high enough, we got on top of our house. That's how high the water was. And we actually had to swim in the water. And in the water, I literally seen dead bodies. I seen people that was literally dead. At the time, I was so shocked, and I was crying, I was emotional. I thought that my life was over. I thought we ain't had nowhere to go. All I knew was New Orleans. So, after all that happened, we just was so emotional. We didn't really know what to do and how to escape or find a way to get to where we need to go, a safe place. I learned a long time ago. At that time, I knew that they had a God because there was no way in the world who was gonna get out of that tragedy. So, one of our person from the project that we grew up with, he actually had a boat, and the water was so high we couldn't really swim in it like that. I told you my grandma couldn't see, so he actually let us use his boat, and we actually used the boat all the way to the Superdome. That's where all the people who didn't have anywhere to stay at, didn't have food, didn't have shelter, didn't have clothes, anything like that. We went there. We stayed there for like 2 weeks or so until the floods and everything got down. And I think the aftermath was way more tragic than the actual hurricane itself, because we actually seen houses, our projects, our city, people on the streets, hungered. I mean, just bodies, didn't have no food, didn't have no clothes. Houses was knocked off the roof. We didn't have anywhere to stay. We didn't know where our life was going to take us, anything like that. And then at the time, they only had a limited supply of food and places that we can go. So in the Superdome only could hold a certain amount of people. And I remember being in the Superdome, and my parents, my mother, she was like, it was so many people in there, we couldn't really leave our stuff, the stuff that we had, because a lot of people would take our stuff. Some people didn't have as much, so we really couldn't really leave everything like that. And they had some people, like the government came brought us food and stuff like that. People was helping us out. We had got aid and everything like that. But one of my aunties, she lived in Atlanta, and some way somehow she ended up coming from Atlanta to come get us from New Orleans. And we just packed up and we went to Atlanta. We stayed in the hotel for like 2 days, and then after that, we stayed in my aunt's house for like a month until we got a house. Ever since then, I've been living in Georgia.
You've been through a lot in life, man. So I just gotta know, man, how everything that you've been through, how everything done shaped you for where you gonna go in the future, and how will it make you a better person, going forward.
Alright. I'm glad you asked me that question, because I've been through a lot growing up. Especially growing up in the projects, I've seen a lot of stuff, and not being able to have as much, it kind of made me want to. It molded me to the person I am now. It made me want to be a hard worker, want more, especially since I ain't really had nobody to really give me anything. So it kind of taught me how not to expect nothing to be handed to you. So I've always been putting in work and just trying to better myself and better everybody else around me. And outside of that, man, I always learn from my losses. I never want anything to be handed to me. I always want to put in the work to
to get to where I want to go. So, yeah, it's always been through a lot, and I always use that as a fuel to the fire to where I want to be in life.
Oh, boy, Mason, man. Young N.O., man.
You already know, baby.
Appreciate you for the words, man.
Most
I
definitely.
really hope your story, go out there and change a few folks' lives now.
Of course.
Say you found a football field. I need to see a little smooth, little pole route. It ain't gotta be full speed. I'm into the stride. I'm a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. You got me. You got me.